everybody. My name is Sally Zinman, and I am currently the Executive Director of the California Association of Mental Health Peer-run Organizations. And I am speaking to you in tribute to Jay Mahler. I knew Jay from, I think, probably 1977, 78. During these long years, we've been colleagues in advocacy for the rights of people with mental health challenges. Throughout that period of time, sometimes we walked side by side, and sometimes he was my boss or I was his boss. Perhaps this is indicative of how interchangeable peer roles and relationships can be. First, I want to describe three, although there are many more, outstanding traits of Jay. Firstly, in the words of another pioneer in our movement, Jay was a pioneer in his own way and taught us a lot about working with mental health professionals. That was not a popular approach in the 1970s, when what was then known as the mental patient liberation movement took a more adversarial and separatist stance. I quoted her words because I always admired Jay for standing by his choice to work within the system and do inside advocacy, even when it was not acceptable to his peer community. He was shunned by many of the radical ex-psychiatric inmates, of which I was one, and that's what we called ourselves at the time. And in some ways, that's a profile in courage. Secondly, he was a visionary. He was among the first in California to promote peer providers within the mental health system, spirituality being a part of wellness for people with mental health challenges, and the recovery model. Finally, he was tenacious. Once he framed a goal, he did not let go. Although Jay was already extremely sick 3 weeks before his death, he was working on a new goal with work groups that he formed on diverting police crisis response tasks to mental health professionals and peers. I want to share a few personal anecdotes of Jay and my relationship. They span 20, 25 years. In 1983, I and my 4-year-old daughter decided to move to California. Jay found out. He called me and asked if I would serve on a statewide consumer steering committee that would be meeting in September. Since it was a representative group of ex-patient run groups around the state, he said that he had arranged for me to represent Network Against Psychiatric Assault, although I was not a member of NAPA. I did not live in California yet, but I agreed. So 3 days after I got to California, I left my then 5-year-old with a friend. I don't think that she's ever forgiven me since, and drove with the legendary Howie the Harp to Sacramento, California, which is California's capital, to attend the meeting. That meeting turned out to be the California Network of Mental Health Clients, the first statewide ex-patient client survivor advocacy organization in the country. And let's fast forward 24 years later, because he did it again. and I sort of, in the moment, agreed again. I was preparing to leave the California Network of Mental Health Clients in 2007 as its executive director. Jay had invited me to keynote the founding conference for a group called the Pool of Consumer Champions in Alameda County, which is now a 1,500 members strong advocacy group in that county. He was working as the Consumer Relations Department Director. in front of all the conference attendees, he asked me to be a consultant for the county and POCC. Although I had been an advocate for 30 years by this time, it did dawn on me in the moment that I was committed publicly in front of 100 plus people to be a consultant in Alameda County. It is now 2021, and I am still, although at a very reduced time, a consultant for Alameda County and the POCC. Jay and I have been in the struggle for freedom as comrades for 44 years. California and the nation has lost one of its great advocates.